The story begins with little Naomi, who has been a strong girl since childhood. She never tolerates injustice and always helps others. Naomi lives with her parents in a small town in China. She's always eager to play and have fun, but she's terrible at studies. Her mother owns a small store, and Naomi often gives things from the store to her close friends. Because of that, her mother scolds and even beats her sometimes. But Naomi never changes. Now Naomi is 17 years old, but her nature is still the same. She hasn't improved in her studies at all. She often sleeps during class, and as a result, she barely manages to pass her exams. Her mother keeps shouting at her for it. Naomi, however, doesn't care much. She always says, "What's the use of studying when, after all, I'll just have to manage the store?" Whatever the case, she's happy with her life. Naomi's mother always gives her the example of Kenji, the boy who lives across the street and goes to the same school as her. Kenji is brilliant at studies and is considered the pride of their neighborhood. Naomi's mother wants her to study like him and make a name for herself as well. Kenji's life revolves around studying, and whenever he wins a trophy for his academic achievements, Naomi becomes angry because her mother always compares her to Kenji. Now it's their final year of high school, and Naomi's mother wants her to do well, get good grades, and get into a big university in the city. So, she gives Naomi an ultimatum. She must follow Kenji's example and study hard like him, or she should quit studying altogether. Kenji studies late at night, so Naomi is forced to stay up and study just as long. That's why she calls Kenji a fool. She thinks he must be from Mars, because who studies that much? Because of this constant pressure, Naomi starts hating Kenji. All she can think about is wanting to kill him. But since Naomi is actually kind-hearted, she eventually changes her mind. In such a situation, she comes up with a brilliant idea to avoid this trouble. If Kenji gets distracted from his studies, he'll also score low grades. That way, Naomi won't be compared to him anymore. And what's the best way to divert a young man's attention from his studies? It's simple: make him fall in love with a girl. And if that girl happens to be the high school queen, the job becomes even easier. Now we see a girl named Hannah, a beautiful, doll-like girl who is also the queen of her school. All the boys in school want to date her. So one day, Naomi sends a love letter to Kenji using Hannah's name, and another to Hannah using Kenji's name. In the letters, she writes that they should go on a date. As a result, the two start getting attracted to each other, and here, Naomi's plan works perfectly. Rumors about their relationship spread throughout the school. Kenji stops studying at night for a few days because he's completely in love with Hannah. But after some time, Hannah transfers to another school, and because of that, Kenji starts studying at night again. Naomi's bad luck, what else could it be? However, as a result of Naomi following Kenji's routine, she ends up passing her final exams with good grades, while Kenji scores fewer grades than expected. The whole neighborhood celebrates their success, and both Naomi and Kenji enroll in a big university to study animal husbandry. Animal husbandry means taking care of and breeding farm animals for useful products. Both of them leave for the city by train to continue their studies. On the journey, Naomi introduces herself to Kenji. She's surprised that a brilliant boy like him decided to study something as underrated as animal husbandry. She realizes that he could have gotten into any program he wanted, but Kenji doesn't answer her questions. When Naomi asks what else he likes to do besides studying, he stays silent again and just looks at her. Naomi, however, feels really happy to be at the biggest university in the city. At that moment, she meets Milo, a smart boy from her university. From their very first meeting, he becomes attracted to Naomi, something Kenji doesn't like at all. Soon, Naomi starts getting to know her other classmates. One day, Kenji spots Hannah on the university campus and is shocked to see her. Hannah is the same girl from school whom Naomi had once made fall for Kenji. Hannah also recognizes him. Now their practical sessions in the animal farm lab begin. Because of the strong smell there, Kenji feels dizzy. We learn that no one except Naomi is really interested in this department. Everyone else plans to switch to another major after 2 years. This angers the zoology professor, who tells them that if we didn't exist, how would anyone get good quality milk and meat? That night, everyone gathers at the university for a cultural show, where Milo starts flirting with Naomi. Hannah, trying to get closer to Kenji, wants to sit beside him. But Kenji tells her that the seat next to him is reserved for Naomi. Hearing this, Hannah feels hurt and quietly sits behind him. Naomi sits beside Kenji as the show begins. She cheers excitedly for Milo's performance, and Milo looks back at her with eyes full of love. Seeing this, an angry Kenji pulls Naomi into his arms in front of everyone and says, "You're my girlfriend." Hearing this, Naomi is shocked, and so is Hannah. But Naomi thinks Kenji only said that to make Hannah jealous, since she believes Hannah has been avoiding him lately. This makes the kind-hearted Naomi decide to help reunite Kenji and Hannah. Later, Milo confesses his feelings to Naomi, telling her that he likes her. Hearing this, Naomi feels touched. Meanwhile, the events of the previous day make Hana believe that Kenji is actually in love with Naomi. But soon, Naomi meets Hana and clears up the misunderstanding, assuring her that Kenji has loved her since their school days. Hana then invites Naomi to her birthday party and asks her to bring Kenji along. Now, Naomi takes Kenji shopping to help him look better. But on their way back, a distraught boy riding a bike hits another man and quickly runs away. Seeing this, Naomi gets angry and throws her bag at him. The bag hits the biker, causing him to fall. The matter soon reaches the police station. The boy writes an apology letter and hands it over. His father arrives to take him home. Naomi tells the man, "You haven't raised your son well." The man gives her a sharp look and walks away. Because of all this delay, the hostel gate gets closed since it's already very late at night. So, Kenji takes Naomi to his cousin's house. Kenji always carries an old red pen clipped to his shirt pocket. Naomi takes the pen and teases him about it, but Kenji angrily tells her that it's a keepsake from someone special, and that's why he keeps it close to his heart. The next day in class, a biology professor comes to teach. Seeing him, both Kenji and Naomi are shocked. It's the same man who took his troublesome son from the police station last night. His name is Professor Wang, and he's known for being very strict. He warns Naomi that he won't tolerate low grades in his subject. Here in the farm lab, every student is given a project. Each student is assigned a rabbit and tasked with taking care of it for the rest of the semester. Their grades depend on how healthy their rabbit stays. Naomi enjoys this task, but the other students aren't interested, so they ask her to take care of their rabbits too, and Naomi agrees. Meanwhile, Kenji stands outside the farm because he's allergic to fur and feathers. As soon as Naomi brings her rabbit near him, Kenji faints from the allergy. Actually, there's a reason why Kenji has this condition. When he was a child, he had a pet rooster that he used to play with. But one day, his parents killed the rooster, and that incident left him deeply traumatized. Ever since then, he's suffered from this strange allergy. So now the question arises, if that's the case, why did he enroll in the animal farming course? We'll find out later in the story. But during this time, Kenji starts growing closer to Naomi. Naomi soon learns that Hana plans to dance with the smartest boy at her birthday party. So, to help Kenji and Hana get together, Naomi begins teaching Kenji how to dance. Kenji feels comfortable around Naomi, but not with Hana. He isn't very good at dancing, so Naomi jokes that he should at least keep a decent expression on his face. That would be enough. However, as they continue their dance practice, Kenji slowly starts developing feelings for Naomi. The day of the birthday party finally arrives. Naomi arrives at the venue, where Milo offers her a drink and starts flirting with her. Just then, Kenji walks in. Seeing his new look, both Hana and Naomi are stunned. Kenji looks incredibly handsome now. Hana asks to dance with him, but Kenji politely refuses, saying that Naomi is his girlfriend and he'll be dancing with her instead. Hearing his answer, Hana is completely shocked. Kenji then walks over to Naomi, who is still talking with Milo. He warns Milo to stay away from his girlfriend, then takes Naomi's hand and begins to dance with her. Naomi gazes at him as if enchanted, lost in the moment as they dance together. All of a sudden, Kenji kisses Naomi. Everyone at the party stares at them in shock. Across the room, Hana watches them with jealousy. But Naomi isn't fully conscious, so she doesn't react. The next day at the farm lab, Hana walks up to Naomi and says, "Kenji likes me, but he loves you." Naomi doesn't understand what's going on. Why is Kenji acting like this? Because of this, she can't focus on her work. She goes straight to Kenji and asks why he did it. She says that if he really has such feelings for her, then he should break up right now. She also tells him, "We don't even like each other that much, so when did these feelings of love even start?" Hearing this, Kenji leaves without saying a word. Now Naomi decides to harass Kenji about this, so she starts acting like his girlfriend and begins making childish demands just to annoy him. But Kenji fulfills all her wishes, even going to the store to buy some sanitary napkins that Naomi asked for. Frustrated, Naomi then starts deliberately showing him fur and feathers, which he's allergic to. Still, Kenji doesn't give up. One day, Hana visits Kenji and tells him that she, Naomi, and Kenji can all become good friends. Kenji agrees and accepts her friendship. But later, we find out that Hana's real purpose behind this was simply for her own amusement. She deliberately tries to get closer to Kenji, which really upsets Naomi. One day, Naomi goes to the school's farm lab, where her rabbit is seriously ill. Panicking, she calls Kenji and starts crying. Despite his allergy, Kenji approaches the rabbit and gives it some glucose, which helps the rabbit recover. Naomi smiles and tells the rabbit that Kenji is its dad and she's its mom. But then, she suddenly realizes the kind of bond she's unknowingly formed with Kenji while talking to him. From that moment, both of them start looking at each other with love in their eyes. One day, in the school restroom, Hana tells her friends that she's dating Kenji just to annoy Naomi because she enjoys seeing her upset. She explains that Naomi was the one who first involved her with Kenji, But when Hana began showing interest in him, Naomi tried to make her jealous by kissing Kenji in front of everyone at a party. Now that Naomi is showing interest in Kenji again, Hana wants to ruin their relationship out of jealousy. That's her only motive. Just then, Naomi, who had been standing behind the door listening, steps forward and says to Hana, "I wish the best for you, and now you're talking about taking revenge? Shame on you." Hearing this, Hana feels deeply hurt. One day, Professor Wang tells the students that it's time to do the final work on the rabbit project. He explains that all the rabbits will be injected with a disease so their immunity and reactions can be observed. But after this process, it becomes necessary to euthanize them, otherwise, the disease could spread across the world. Hearing this, Naomi and the rest of the students are shocked. Naomi doesn't want those rabbits that they've cared for so lovingly to be killed. She gets very upset and asks Professor Wang if there's another way. Wang explains that for their research on increasing the rabbits' immunity, this step is necessary. Only then can they find out if their immunity can be improved by feeding them certain substances. He tells her, "We use rabbits like guinea pigs. By studying them, we can develop new medicines and treatments, which could help people in the outside world." But Naomi wants the rabbits to be kept alive after receiving the disease injection, not killed, but handed over to someone. Wang, however, refuses to let any infected rabbits be released into the outside world. Still, Naomi's kind heart can't accept the idea of those lovely rabbits being killed. Then Wang warns everyone that whoever doesn't inject the rabbits will fail the class. Since no one wants to fail, nobody supports Naomi, except Hana. Naomi realizes that now she only has two choices: either kill the rabbits to pass the exam, or save them and be ready to fail. She decides to save the rabbits. She loads them all into a small van and releases them into the open forest. Because of Naomi's decision, chaos spreads throughout the university. While searching for Naomi, Kenji finally finds her and asks her to come back. But Naomi tells him, "You call me your girlfriend, but when it really mattered, you didn't stand by me. You always loved Hana." Then Kenji tells her what true love means to him. He says he has loved her since childhood. As a kid, just to see her face, he used to buy a pencil from her store every single day. He then shows her the red pen Naomi gave him when they were kids, a pen he has kept safe all these years. He still has the candy wrappers that Naomi gave him when they were kids. It was Naomi's nature that attracted him. He tells her that he didn't stay up all night studying, but just to secretly look at her. He even enjoyed it when Naomi scolded him. And just to stay close to her, he chose not to enroll in biology but in animal husbandry instead, even though he's allergic to animals. He never loved Hana. His heart has always belonged to Naomi. He tells her that it wasn't Hana he wanted to dance with, but her. Kenji says, "I've always wondered what it is about you that draws me in. Then I realized, it's your kindness, your selflessness, and your honesty. Those things haven't changed, even as you've grown up." He continues, "One day you asked me what I do besides studying. Now I'll tell you, besides studying, I have only ever loved you." Hearing this, Naomi hugs him tightly. But Naomi's action is seen as an insult to the university, and soon discussions begin about expelling her. This time, however, all the students stand by Naomi. Seeing their unity, Professor Wang changes his mind and decides not to experiment on the rabbit. He also cancels his decision to expel Naomi. Naomi runs into Kenji's arms in front of everyone. Both of them pass the exam and move on to the next grade. And that's where the story ends. If you had fun watching, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and drop your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear from you.